strength adhesive, a piece of cardboard or plastic for the base, a long screw with nuts for fastening, and, of course, electric drill. The process begins by applying the glue to the back of one of the pieces of sandpaper. Pay close attention because now you will learn tips on using electric soldering irons. First, let's remove the tip of our electric soldering iron and replace it with a small regular screw. After making this replacement, we can start repairing a plastic plate like this. It is easy to fix the board material with this technique. Of course, we also need some other items such as fixed number pins. These pins are very useful, and a dozen should be enough to repair smaller cracks. First, we heat the soldering iron until the plastic in the damaged area melts. Once the plastic is melted, we insert the fixed number pins to reinforce the area and remove the excess plastic. We then repeat the heating process inside the crack. Although the same method is used, there may be damage to the surface, so we use some plastic tape to reduce damage and reinforce the area. By heating and melting the plastic strips, you will see that the surface is completely repaired. As this box is relatively thin, the process must be slower. Now, let's test it on a thicker plastic plate. For the thicker board, simply melt the plastic onto the surface using the same method. The cover of this craft knife also has some cracks, so we will repair it in the same way. If you want a more detailed repair, after fixing it, we can apply a little putty to level the surface. After filling, we can sand, paint, and color the area. Basically, we can restore the piece to its original condition, although it is a somewhat laborious process. Remove the tip of the electric soldering iron and replace it with a small regular screw. Make sure the screw is securely in place before starting the repair. Take the damaged plastic sheet and identify the cracks. Heating the soldering iron, melt the plastic around the cracks. Insert fixed number pins into the melted plastic to reinforce the area. Remove excess plastic to ensure an even surface. Repeat the heating process inside the crack to ensure a complete repair. Use plastic tape to reduce additional surface damage. Melt plastic strips over the crack to further reinforce the area. For thin cases, proceed slowly to avoid damage. For thicker boards, melt the plastic superficially for additional reinforcement. Repair cracks in smaller items, such as the cover of a craft knife, using the same method. For a more detailed finish, apply putty after repair. Sand the filled surface, then paint and add color to restore the original appearance. Wear protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, when handling the soldering iron and hot materials. Work in a well-ventilated area to avoid inhaling toxic fumes. Maintain a slow, steady pace to ensure an effective, long-lasting repair. If you're enjoying the video and have watched this far, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And now let's move on to the next trick, where I'll share some carpentry tips that I learned. For example, if there is a hole in a wooden board, how can we fix it? The method is very simple. First, prepare some toothpicks and insert them directly into the hole, cutting off the excess. Of course, it won't be completely level yet, so use sandpaper to buff and smooth the surface. To fill remaining gaps, you can use a wood chip. Apply glue and sprinkle a little baking soda, repeating this operation a few times until it is well filled and strong. This is a basic and simple repair method, suitable for fixing small things at home. Finally, just polish to finish. Now, let's test a simple situation. Saw off the head of the nail, leaving the remainder, and install it in an electric drill. You will see that the effect is very good. Here we have a discarded iron plate that we can modify. Use a grinder wrench to mark 2 positions on it and start grinding. Then prepare 2 screws and thread them directly to fix the plate. This makes it easier to unscrew and remove the part, allowing you to conveniently replace the polishing machine. An important tip: if you press the wrong way, you could end up making a mistake. We need to pass the thread through the inside and then fix it correctly. I will demonstrate the correct way. First, remove the roll, pass the thread through the middle and fix it in the central hole. Then fix the copper wire. This is the correct approach and it is very simple. Fixing a hole in wood. Insert toothpicks into the hole and cut off the excess. Use sandpaper to smooth the surface. Fill gaps with wood chips, applying glue and baking soda repeatedly until it is well filled and strong. Finish by buffing the area to a smooth finish. Modifying an iron plate. Saw off the head of the nail and install the remainder in an electric drill. Mark 2 positions on the iron plate with a grinder wrench and start grinding. Prepare 2 screws and thread them to secure the plate, making it easy to remove and replace.
Fixing a wire correctly.
Remove the roll and pass the thread through the middle. Fix the wire into the center hole and then attach the copper wire. Follow these steps to ensure the repair is done correctly. By following these detailed steps, the repair process should take approximately 5 minutes, providing an efficient, high-quality result. Now I would like to share some practical tips with you. For example, when we use an electric drill, it is common for a lot of sawdust to fall on the floor, which can be difficult to clean up. Let's learn a little trick to deal with this sawdust. Take a sheet of paper and fold it like this. Then take a small piece of tape and stick it below the hole we made. This will cause all the sawdust from the electric drill to fall onto the paper. Of course, there are other advanced techniques for this. Next, let's prepare a plastic bottle and customize it. Use a marker to draw a circle on the bottle and make a hole that is compatible with the drill we are using. Now, if we need to replace a drill bit that has been used a lot, in addition to simply swapping it out for a new one, we can use this method to deal with screw drilling areas. After tying the bottle, use a plastic tie like this one to secure it. After removing the excess tie, install it on our drill and test the result. You will see that the holes in the wooden board may be a little uneven, but they will still have a satisfactory effect. This method is generally not suitable for precise drilling. These simple techniques can make your work with power tools much easier, saving time and ensuring better results. Try these tips on your next carpentry or home improvement task and see how useful they can be in your everyday life. Today I'm going to share with you a practical and economical project. How to build a homemade sander using pieces of sandpaper. Let's explore each step in detail so you can replicate it at home. First, let's gather the necessary materials. You will need pieces of sandpaper of different grits, a strong glue, such as an epoxy glue or a high-strength adhesive, a piece of cardboard or plastic for the base, a long screw with nuts for fastening, and, of course, electric drill. The process begins by applying the glue to the back of one of the pieces of sandpaper. Choose a piece that hasn't been used before to ensure a better grip. Apply the glue evenly and press firmly against the cardboard or plastic. Repeat the same procedure with the second piece of sandpaper, ensuring that both sides are well glued. Now, let's let the sanding discs dry and solidify completely. This waiting time may vary depending on the type of glue you are using, but it is generally recommended to wait at least an hour to ensure a solid hold. While the sanding discs dry, let's prepare the long screw and nuts that will be used to fasten them together. This step is crucial to ensure the sander is stable and efficient during use. Insert the screw through the center of the sanding discs and secure with the nuts on both sides. Tighten firmly to avoid any looseness that could compromise the sander's operation. With the sanding discs firmly attached, it's time to connect the assembly to the electric drill. Make sure the drill is turned off during this step to avoid accidents. Place the drill adapter screw into the chuck and tighten firmly. Now, turn on the electric drill at a medium speed to test the homemade sander. Watch how the sanding discs rotate and ensure smooth, consistent movement. You can adjust the speed as needed depending on the material being sanded and the finish you want. To demonstrate the effectiveness of the homemade sander, let's use it to sand a kitchen knife or any surface you want to adjust or smooth. Remember to apply even pressure and move the drill in a controlled manner to get accurate results. In addition to wooden surfaces, a homemade sander can also be useful for other projects, such as sanding lemon peels for use in crafts or decorations. The versatility of this improvised tool can surprise you, providing professional results in simple and complex jobs. Finally, let's discuss some safety tips when using a homemade sander. Always wear safety glasses to protect your eyes from dust particles and wear gloves to protect your hands when handling the drill. Keep the work area clean and organized to avoid accidents. With these simple techniques, you can create your own homemade sander and enjoy the benefits of a practical and efficient tool in your home projects. I hope this guide was helpful and inspires you to explore your crafting and carpentry skills even further. Now we are going to repair a small lamp, a common item found in most homes. Although this type of lamp is relatively affordable, it would be a waste to discard it simply because it is broken. Let's check if the problem is with the socket before proceeding with repairs. To begin, we will open the lamp. Simple light fixtures like this often have problems with the bulb's internal components. Let's identify which of the lamp components is defective. After turning on the switch, we will use a small pair of pliers to test each of the lamp components. If a component lights up, we know there is something wrong with it. To access the inside of the lamp, we will use an appropriate tool to carefully remove the upper part. Next, we will use a special material, such as aluminum foil. This material is commonly found in kitchens, where it is used in baking dishes. We will cut a piece and apply it directly to the problem area of the bulb. We will attach the aluminum with electrical tape to the back of the lamp cable. After completing these steps, we will reconnect the bulb to the socket and do a test. If everything is working correctly, we will have managed to repair the lamp simply and effectively. This method not only saves resources but also promotes sustainability by reducing household waste. It's a practical skill that everyone can learn and apply in their own homes. Furthermore, by choosing to repair rather than replace, we are contributing to a more sustainable environment. If you're interested in learning more about simple, practical home repairs, I'm happy to share more helpful tips and techniques. Don't hesitate to ask about other situations you'd like to resolve on your own. I hope this tutorial has been enlightening and that it inspires you to try repairing minor household problems yourself. See now how a small piece like this is very useful and can be transformed into an anchor head. First, we fill it with glue and, after it solidifies, we make a hole in the center. We need a nail like this to fix it inside. We also need an electric drill, which is an electric sander. The polished surface has a very good finish. How to fix a cracked plastic board like this? First, we take a nail like this and remove the top end. The electric soldering iron can be used directly. Unscrew the nail and replace it with another one. Then we took some fixed number needles. Heating the soldering iron, we insert the needle with a fixed number into it, which provides excellent fixation. Cracks like this can be easily repaired with BWD-6 glue. If there is a leak, we don't use it. In this case, you can treat it with the electric soldering iron and gently slide it to seal. Of course, the speed must be slow to ensure a good sealing effect. To ensure the script lasts 5 minutes, we will detail each step carefully. Anchor head transformation. Take the small piece and fill it with glue. Let it dry completely. Once solidified, drill a hole in the center of the piece using an electric drill. Make sure the hole is well centered. Insert a nail into the hole to secure internally. Use an electric sander to smooth the surface, ensuring a clean, smooth finish. Cracked plastic board repair. Take a nail and remove the top end. This will make it easier to insert into the board. Use an electric soldering iron to heat the area around the crack. Unscrew the old nail and replace it with a new one. Get some fixed number needles. When heating the soldering iron, insert the fixed number needle, which will help fix the crack efficiently. Apply BWD-6 glue to the cracks. If there is a leak, avoid using glue and opt for treatment with an electric soldering iron. Gently slide the iron along the crack to seal. Maintain a slow speed to ensure the seal is perfect. Polishing and finishing. After fixing, use the electric sander again to polish the repaired surface. This will ensure that the repaired area is even with the rest of the board. If necessary, apply a layer of paint to give a final finish and improve the aesthetic appearance of the sign. Precautions and tips. Always wear protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, when handling power tools and hot materials. Be sure to work in a well-ventilated area, especially when using glue and welding, to avoid inhaling toxic fumes. Keep a steady hand and move slowly when using the soldering iron to ensure the crack is sealed properly.